experience. Whack has never been to trial. You know, I went to trial for a homicide. Yes, I went to trial for a homicide. I picked a jury of 12. You know, I went to trial for multiple charges, drug charges. I've been to trial for multiple things, you know, and I go to war every single time. Yes, you know, and from my experiences, it let me know a lot, you know, and, you know, me being honest, right? I went to trial all these times, right? But I still was playing in the field. Straight up. I ain't gonna lie. I went to trial multiple times and I still was out there playing. You know, and me just being honest, right? My mind frame, being as though that I was, you know, good in the streets, right? I knew it was gonna be times that I'm gonna have encounters and stuff like that. But my mind frame was always to, if I ever have an encounter, to make sure that I cause a scene. It's always that mind frame. It was always with me. I done been in multiple situations, and I'm gonna just be real. Me causing a scene whenever I got and had a police encounter is the reason why I spanked all the cases that I beat. I'm just being real. From me causing a scene, if you an individual that just give up when they show up, you don't have no fight. But when you cause a scene, you give yourself ability to have a fight. You hear me? Because the police, they gonna make a mistake 95% of the time. They are gonna make a mistake in the paperwork, the evidence, with something 95% of the time. Especially if you make a scene out of it. You hear me? They make a mistake. Their brain, you hear me? They're just trained to arrest you and to document. That's it. But when it gets to the prosecutors, that's when you start seeing, okay, they gonna start picking apart, but they not gonna tell you. They start seeing when it's wrong. Straight up. This why the feds won't pick certain cases up, because the cops, they'll do certain things, make an arrest, document it, and they'll mess up in the paperwork. Straight up. They'll totally mess up all the way in the paperwork. And when they mess up in the paperwork, the feds will see it and they like, man, I don't want it. Because they want their conviction rate to stay high. So they see the paperwork, they like, nah. This is why you might see some cases where you might think the feds gonna take it, but the local police done arrested somebody, but they messed up on the documents. You know, especially when it come to that work, right? The chain of custody is important. They mess the chain of custody up damn near every time. This is how the police, the uniform police, they're not that smart. They bump up on situations, but all they know how to do is lock you up, put your hands behind your back, and write the report of what they think. But most of the time, they mess up the chain of custody, they mess up the evidence, and then you can pick it apart. It's like, okay, but a lot of people don't be understanding this because they don't know it. So they think, okay, I got locked up, that's it. Nah, that ain't it. You know, you got a fight here. You got to sit down and do some homework. You know, you got to look at this paperwork and see what it is that they did wrong. And when you find it, you stick to the angle. You hear me? You know what I'm saying? Because like literally, I had to watch a video about 50 times. I still got the video here. You know, I still got the video of, you know, the time I got arrested, and it was all on video, right? The video that they didn't want to give me. They didn't want to give me the evidence, right? So they gave me a chopped up video. And when I look at the video, I say, this isn't the original video. And when they give you a video of your evidence, it gotta be the original. They can't give you a chopped up video, broken down, and what they want. But that's what they tried to give me. They tried to give me a chopped up video. And when I noticed it, I'm like, this ain't the original video. I'm requesting for the original video. They didn't want to give it to me. They gave me the one that they had chopped up the way they wanted to chop up. I'm like, well, why we got it coming here, but we ain't got it going there, and we missing this, right? They cut some things out. But when they did that, they meant to cut another part out that they missed, which was the chain of custody, right? So they seen that the chain of custody was messed up, but they thought that I wasn't going to be able to see it. You know what I mean? So I'm looking at it, right? And I'm understanding, like, hold up. All right, so the chain of custody was supposed to be documented that this person had it, that person had it, and that person had it, right? It never was documented like that. It was documented as, oh, this person grabbed the evidence and they secured it. And this is what they said in their report. So now I'm like, hold up. Now I'm looking at the video. The video is telling me that it didn't go like the report. The report is saying the officer secured the evidence and locked it down. But the video is showing me that the officer had no eyes on the evidence for 15, 20 minutes, and somebody else had the evidence. Boom. That case right there, everything they got is gone. It ain't no more case because you didn't document the chain of custody. You didn't have your eyes on the evidence for 15, 20 minutes. So that work that you said you had, it's nothing. It ain't no work no more. The work is gone. And motherfuckers don't understand this, right? They think because they get in a situation that it's over. Nah. You got to do your homework, man. And I'm going to tell you like this, right? And I'm keeping it a buck. The attorney that I hired, right? You know what the attorney told me? He said, you can't beat this case because it's the plain doctrine view. It was in plain sight. They seen it and you can't beat it. I said, how you going to tell me that? Hold up. They said, there's no way you're going to beat this case. An attorney now, he was attorney for 40 years. You hear me? Attorney for 40 years. He said, yo, you can't beat this case. I said, I guarantee you I'm going to beat it. Watch me. You hear me? And guess what I did? I put belt the ass. You hear me? Spank this joint. I'm going to war. I know damn well that this officer was way over here with no visual on the evidence, and this shit wasn't documented, that somebody else had it, and the camera showing that somebody else had the evidence. So what you mean I can't beat this? But these the games that these attorneys play with us as people because they feel like, these black people don't know nothing. You hear me? I'll just tell you that right now. When they look at a black person got a charge, they look at you don't know nothing. They really think that you don't got the knowledge. This is why I be telling these jokers on here, yo, my shit right here, and these niggas ain't fucking with me. Straight up. I'm not on here, trying to make up a character. A lot of these jokers on here trying to make up a character. Like, I'm the real deal. And, I know probably some people like, oh, this nigga too real for the internet. I just got to be me. The people that's going to rock with me, going to rock with me. You know what I mean? I don't need to make up a character like these niggas. You know what I mean? Because I got real experience where I've been in the field, sitting in that courtroom for days at a time, coming back to the court every day, going to trial. You feel what I'm saying? I had a 2-week trial for a homicide. I'm in there every single day. Prosecutors in there looking at it, nigga. Oh, he got a different suit on. You hear me? I'm in there every day with a different suit on, sitting in here fighting for my life. You hear me? They trying to roof a nigga. You hear me? And I'm 21 years old. You hear me? I'm 21 years old and they trying to roof a nigga. I'm like, God damn, I'm on 21. What do you mean? They trying to give a nigga the elbow. But these niggas, and I'm in my 40s now. So when I hear these niggas like whack me talking, now you know how to manipulate a nigga with the police. Of course you do. Yeah, because these young people don't know, and some of these old niggas don't know. But this why they can't do nothing with Deezy, because my experience with life in the streets is further than these guys. These niggas think because they was running around here extorting people that they have experience. This is what they think though. They think because they ran around here being extortionists that their game in life is like strong. You know, when I'm just being real, that shit don't go over here. Motherfucker, how you shit on the pavement for some shit like that over here. I mean, I guess that's no out there thing. You know what I mean? And hey, they do that out there. That's what they do. You know, but over here, and they can have your shit on the pavement, like straight up. You know what I mean? Like no cap, and that's on God. Like, but that, I guess the extortion shit work out there. You know what I mean? That's what they do. Hey, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But here, shit be on the pavement, nigga, on God. You know what I mean? But you know, I just try to keep it a buck. You know what I mean? And break it down for the ones that you know is solid. But I'm gonna let y'all hear this attorney right here, and he gonna let y'all know, you know, the lead attorney, he gonna let y'all know, you know, this dirty game that these attorneys is playing. It's a dirty game out here, man. You know, you got to do your own research. You know what I mean? You got to do your own research, man. You know, smash that like button and hit that subscribe. But man, shout out to all y'all that rock with SBGB TV. You know, I appreciate each and every one of y'all, man.
Say, so I don't know, Lee, come to Cook County, Chicago. Corruption is crazy. Cook, man, Chicago, y'all had those black sites. I read an article. It was, you know, there are certain things that just changed my whole experience on law. Me and Fit went to law school, and they teach everybody in law school the same thing. It doesn't matter which law school you go to, really. Everything's super standardized. And there are two or three things that just shook my entire world. One of them, the biggest thing, I'll be honest with you, is the Eric Snowden. As an attorney, I could not believe it. Eric Snowden told us about the secret prosecutors. Fit, when did we ever learn in law school that there were secret government prosecutors? When did we learn that there were secret judges? When did we learn that there were secret courts? Fit and I, we were trained to defend this country legally, to administer the laws. They never told me and Fit about the secret prosecutors, never told us about these secret courts.
Now, y'all hearing that from an attorney. Y'all hearing that from an attorney now. Somebody that went to school, followed the rules, practiced this game that they set up. And they got secret judges, prosecutors, and courts. Yeah, they got secret stuff that we don't know about. And if you get to talking about that stuff when you in the middle of it, oh yeah, they're gonna make you look a certain way. Straight up.
Snowden was releasing all these files, information. The secret prosecutors would get these secret judges to issue secret orders. And the orders, so let's say, would go to Google. And at the top of the order, it would say, you know, this is a secret court from a secret judge, and you cannot acknowledge anything about this order. You cannot talk about it. You just have to comply. You can't file anything against it. No whistleblowing. No one in America can know about the secret court system. But you comply, or, you know, pay us $40 billion and all your executives are going to be in contempt and they're going to go to jail. The FBI can't crack Apple phones. FBI says, hey, we want to know how to crack your phones. So you give us the back door. We need this for national security. Apple's like, get a court order. FBI's like, no, for real, give us the shit. Apple's like, we ain't giving you shit. 6 months later, the FBI can crack any iPhone in the nation.
You understand that the feds run the United States of America. You hear me? They run the United States of America. You understand, when you see Whack 100 running around here like he run around here, you better know that they tapped in with Whack. He's too loud. There's too much violence around him. He's instructed to do what he's doing. Straight up. It's a dirty game now. You better understand this. I ain't sitting on here telling people this shit for nothing. Y'all see that these niggas don't say nothing about me. Everybody sees this. Straight up. They know. They do not want my voice to get loud because I have understanding. They don't want that. Whack, no. I'm waiting for the nigga to try to pop at me. I'm waiting for him so I can start running this shit back around the clock. He know I know. Oh, he know I know. He with them people.
And then the FBI's like, we developed a encryption. We developed it on our own. Apple got one of those fucking orders. Google got one of those fucking orders. Blue Baggins says Chicago, corruption goes crazy. I was astounded. I started reading into this. It used to be the case that black people were disappearing, particularly black men in Chicago. They were just disappearing. They weren't turning up dead, but they were disappearing. But it came to be that the communities would find out that, oh, you have to call this certain lawyer. There were certain lawyers that knew about the disappearance. And you call these lawyers, say, okay, what's his name? His name is Tyrone. Okay. Pay me $7,000. Okay. Here's $7,000. I'll give you a call in 2 days. 2 days comes. Hey, let me talk to Tyrone's mom. Listen, Tyrone is great. He'll be home in 3 days. Where is he at? He'll be home in 3 days. Everything's fine. Is he alive? He's alive. Is he hurt? He's not hurt. Guys, the government was holding these black men, accusing them of crimes, and they had them in black sites. They had them in all these buildings that were just imagine just gray Manila or gray brick square block buildings. You didn't know what was in them. No signs, no nothing, just random buildings. And they were holding these men for investigation, these gangsters and all that. What about first appearance? Fit'll tell you about first appearance. She'll tell you about a bar. None of that. Your son was missing. But there were a few attorneys who knew what the fuck was going on. This was in Chicago. I couldn't imagine something like that happening in Atlanta. Does it happen? I don't know, but Chicago's crazy. So when Blue's like, hey man, Chicago for real, the corruption, shit, Blue, you got it. I don't want to hear nothing about corruption unless it's from Louisiana or really Chicago for that black site shit. That was insane. But all across the country, man, Snowden, some of y'all are like fucking Obama and think he should be arrested. Oh, he was compromising our military. All right. You can think he's a traitor. I think he is one of our nation's national heroes. I think he is one of the top. If you have a top 10 list of, he never won the Medal of Honor. I don't give a fuck who won the Medal of Honor. He let us know we didn't know about the NSA. You had suspicions that your phone was spying on you. You had no evidence. You didn't know about the NSA. You didn't know their powers. You knew nothing. Someone was like, here's 80,000 files. Snowden was in the NSA. So, you know, what does Blue say? Blue's like, man, Lee, real talk, I know people that been in them unknown jails. That's exactly what they were. Unknown jails. That's the perfect way to say it. I call it black sites.
Now, this is coming from an attorney, someone that practiced law, got a law degree. It's a dirty game, for sure.
But that's what they were. Fitz gonna be like, what do you mean unknown jails? What about first appearance? What about your preliminary hearing? What about your bond? What about it, Nugel? Oh, I'm gonna shut up. No one knows I'm here. What about my right to a phone call? What about my right to an attorney? What attorney? You're with us. Shit. Shit gets so real. And just look at this. You know, what are these? What are statistics supposed to tell you about this? Do you guys feel the difference between real talk and statistics? Can you feel it? Andrew Wilson's trying to study 17 statistics before the debate starts. Trying to remember them, trying to memorize them. What the fuck is ChatGPT supposed to tell you about this stuff? If it's just going to give you statistics. Right? Shout out to the casual economist says, don't copyright strike my incoming AI, TLA, and AV channel. I need to get the bag too. I feel you. I feel you. You're 100% right. You are 100% right. Shout out to Casual Economist. Thank you so much. Casual Economist has been rocking with me in the channel for years. Thank you so much, brother. Shout out to Fit. What is Fit? Let me hit it all for Fit. What does it say? Now that's facts right there. It says, I watched a judge just last week reject a plea offer because the prosecutor hadn't done enough work and proceeded to tell the ADA from the bench to go listen to the 911 calls and some more other shit, okay? Yeah, and in Georgia, and not just in Atlanta, but really in all Georgia, I've never seen that level of corruption. Now, Fit knows that the defendants always think that the prosecutors and the public defenders are in bed together. They always think that. But it's never the case. It's always the prosecutor and these goddamn judges. These judges.
The judges definitely are working with the prosecutor. Now, I'm going to tell you this, right? The situation that I had, right, with the attorney not trying to give me the paperwork and not wanting to give me my discovery, I fired him. I knew the angle to go at because I already did my homework. It wasn't no need to get an attorney. They can try to manipulate your attorney, right? So I said, give me a public defender. You hear me? I said, give me a public defender. I don't need another paid attorney. I need a public defender now. So now, when I present this information that I know to the public defender about the case, the public defender was acting dumb at first, right? And I tell the public defender, I said it just like this, because I researched the public defender and the prosecutor. The public defender had been a lawyer for 6 years. The prosecutor had been a lawyer for 7 years. I said, listen here, my man. I know you've been an attorney for 6 years. I know he's been an attorney for 7 years. Both of y'all go to school together. Y'all know each other well. I ain't playing no games. I'm gonna write the bar association on you and the prosecutor if you don't put this paperwork in like I'm telling you. I know y'all got a personal relationship. Y'all ain't gonna play no games with me. The public defender did exactly what I asked him to do. He filed for suppression. After I done had this case for a year, when the attorney that I paid for told me I couldn't get a suppression. When I asked him in a timely fashion, I had all the emails. I submitted all the emails to him. And I said, listen, I want a suppression hearing. I got the emails from the paid attorney that I asked him on 3 different occasions to file my suppression hearing. And he ignored me. The public defender submitted that to the judge. The judge granted that I can have a suppression hearing. After a year, now you're supposed to have an attorney submit for a suppression hearing for you within 20 days after your first case review. Your first case review that you get, if you want to suppress any evidence, you got 20 days from the first case review to suppress evidence. So I'm like, all right, cool. I suppressed the evidence, right? And guess what? You know what they did? They dropped the damn case the day before the hearing. Because they knew I was right. The whole time, the attorneys was playing with me. You hear me? The whole time, the attorneys was playing. They dropped the case the day before the suppression hearing. It's a dirty game, man. People got to understand that it's their game. You got to do your own homework, man. You hear me? You got to do your own homework. You know, these rappers, they got the world, you know, confused, especially the guys that's out there in the street, right? They got them confused. And I'm going to tell you what they doing. They out there hollering to the people, telling the people that my lawyer going to beat it. So now the regular people are thinking that all I have to do is hire an attorney. So they thinking like, okay, all I'm going to do is I'm going to get a lawyer. My lawyer going to beat it. No. Your lawyer going to get you to plead guilty so that they can get a win-win. You got to do your own research, man. Straight up. If you don't do your own research, they're going to get you to plead guilty. It's a dirty game. Smash that like button, though. Shout out to all y'all that rock with SBGB TV.
It's 100% right, man. Shout out. Somebody write fit in the damn channel. She's exactly right. Big shout out to Fit. Shout out to Blue. Thank you so much, Blue. Blue, man, blessing me. Blue says in Cook County, they kidnap inmates to take them to unknown stations and beat confessions out of them. Your lawyer can't even find you. I believe it. That really, the whole Black Sites thing and the Snowden thing, I was like, Lee, you're such a fucking baby, man. You're so fucking naive.
It's a dirty game, man. Straight up. It's a dirty game, man. Make sure you smash that like button and hit that subscribe button, man. Shout out to all the people that rock with SBGB TV. You know, this why Deezy rock Dolo. You hear me? This why I rock Dolo. I understand that people are foul individuals. You know what I'm saying? I'm very leery, you know, about people because I understand, you know, messing with certain people will distort my message. You know, I got a message. I got a story. You know, I have a message and a story. The real deal. And I know certain people will distort it. You know, when you surround yourself around people like whack, that get the lying, manipulating. Them people will distort people to have a message, and they will mess up the message.